7:01, it's time to rock and roll. Okay, meeting called to order, please rise to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Moore. Aye. Councilmember Borey.
Here.
Councilmember Southwick. Here. Supervisor Champlain.
Here.
And Councilmember Hunter is absent.
Thank you. Need to approve the minutes for March 11th, regular business meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 11th regular business meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any corrections, omissions required? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the approval of minutes from the special meeting, March 25th.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the special meeting on March 25th, as submitted by the clerk.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. Everything's all right. No revisions required. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, so now is presentations of petitions and communications and general question people from members of the community. Are you folks here just for the public hearing? Okay. Nothing you need to add at this time? Okay. Then I'd like to introduce everybody to Danielle King and Renee McFarland. I'm sorry, I was gonna start off with Farland, and it was wrong. They're with TDC, and Danielle is the president and CEO, and Renee is the director of business development. And they'd like to talk to us about how their business operates, and of course they have property here in Champlain, in that village of Champlain Industrial Park, which we refer to as Champlain Industrial Park. Actually, it benefits all of us. So they like to explain how the business operates, so we have a better understanding. As we've had some growth coming there, we're hoping to have more.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for having us here this evening. I do have some notes because I have a tendency to go off on tangents. So interrupt me with questions at any time. But so we're on a bit of a reintroduction campaign for TDC. It's the organization has been around since 1961, but it has seen a lot of names, CEOs, boards, a lot of changes throughout that 64 years. So I came on board as president and CEO in January, and so I'm on a bit of an introduction campaign. So TDC is a private not-for-profit. As I've been around since 1961. Our mission is around attracting and retaining quality jobs and investments for Clinton County. So we serve primarily our industrial parks are in the greater Plattsburgh region. However, we do have the Champlain Industrial Park here in the northern tier. So our marketing efforts and the work that we do as we work with companies that are coming through, it really goes all over the county. So TDC originally started as the New Industries of Clinton County, a group of business folks in the region that thought we should really be doing more to market the area. Getting new jobs here, getting some traction, and so they built some buildings, did some marketing work, and then realized that our #1 asset is our geographic proximity. Our proximity to Canada, the 15 to 87 corridor, and Canadian businesses want that lower risk first step into the US market. So instead of building buildings and selling them, like they thought that would happen, we transitioned to a lease model. So TDC as it stands today has over 700,000 square feet of quality premier industrial space that we lease to Mostly Canadian companies, but we do have some domestic and otherwise foreign companies within the industrial parks. So we build pretty consistently, and we'll build on spec. So that's not a traditional model. Construction is pretty expensive these days, and it's not getting any cheaper. So it's difficult for a traditional developer to get a return on building a building. Since we have such a large inventory of building space that we've acquired over the past 6 decades, we're able to leverage that to build new space. And it's worked. We've put up 3 60,000 square foot buildings in the last 7 years or so, and each one of them was fully leased before construction was near completion. So there is still a very good market for growth in this region. And so as we, share more about this region, the primary benefit we have is the people that have worked with Canadian companies for so long, the business service providers that understand the nuances of going from Quebec to New York and are able to support that. So we work really closely with the Chamber of Commerce, with CBC Real Estate, and with others in the region to help attract and retain these companies. So as I mentioned, our organization is a private, not-for-profit, so we don't operate on state funding or federal funding or anything like that. We operate on the revenue that comes from the buildings that we have, and that's how we're able to generate new growth. And we are a 501c6 nonprofit, so we're governed by a board of directors with business folks from around the county who are able to advise us and help us with our growth. Our headquarters is in Air Industrial Park, so over in the former Clinton County Airport. The new growth that's happening there, we just built a new office building about 5 years ago or so. So, attracting and retaining quality investments and jobs. How we do that is, of course, through our buildings, but also through our workforce development efforts. So we do a lot with the K-12 school system. We work closely to get students into manufacturing facilities to see what modern manufacturing looks like. A lot of teenagers have this industrial revolution idea in their head, smokestacks and really aggressive, and then you bring them through a Norsk titanium, and they see it's clean, it's high tech, it's really innovative, and it helps them to recognize the value of job opportunities that are right in their backyard. And so we also have a grant program, so we help our tenants that are trying to upskill their employees to help retain them. So if they have a skills program or something that they want to get off the ground, we'll offset the cost so that they can help with upskilling their employees. So,
Danielle, so
Yes.
that grant funded through TDC?
Yep, it's funded through TDC, so it's an opportunity that we give to our tenants. So if they have an employee who they think would be, a really great fit for a supervisory role or, the next level in the organization, they can help provide them with the training and help keep them at that facilities, because unemployment and, looking for folks has always been the #1 concern of the manufacturers and other employers in our parks. And so if we can help them retain someone, then we've done our job. Retention is just as important as attraction. So our parks are primarily Air Industrial Park, along the Route 3 corridor, Air Industrial Drive, Area Development Drive, Industrial Boulevard, and the Banker Road Industrial Park, which is right along Banker Road, and the Tom Miller Road extension. We also have one building over on the air base. That was a public-private partnership with the state. And of course, the many hundreds of acres, well, it's just over 100 acres that we have up here in Champlain. So Champlain is one of those pieces that we have a little bit of fun with on our website. It really is the gateway to the US, the real true first step into the US market that we're able to just share with companies that are looking for a shovel-ready opportunity for growth. And we are continuing to get traction for that, and we're really excited about, I know there was one parcel that we sold last year, and we continue to have interest in some of the other parcels over there for folks that are going to be bringing projects here. And if they're going to construct a building right now, they want to invest in your community. And so it's like I said, it's not cheap, and we're excited to help bring that traction here. What am I forgetting?
Can I ask questions about that
Please
part?
interrupt and ask questions.
So there's roughly 100 acres left in that park.
Yes.
Do you remember what the acreage was originally? Because you've accomplished over the years putting a lot of buildings in there, and I believe they all ended up being bought eventually, right? Like
Yes.
it started out as a lease?
Yep.
Okay.
So we no longer have any buildings in Champlain Industrial Park, but we did at one time, and
Right.
they've all been purchased, which isn't typically our model, but for some companies, it's what makes the most sense. So I don't know how many
It was
acres we
probably
started with.
close to double, I would think.
I would assume so. There's been, consider, if you look at the layout through GIS, I would say that that would be a fair estimate.
Okay, and while we're in there at park, this 100 acres that's left, are you still open to the lease model as well?
So we have the build-to-suit option as something that we have in our marketing. So we're always open to a discussion with a company. When it comes down to it, the length of lease required for a build-to-suit option isn't always the best fit. Because, you said the cost for building a building, we want to keep our rates at market rate. And so being able to do that on, like, if someone's gonna say, hey, build me a building and I'll sign on for, 5 years, that's not enough of a commitment. And so typically, the company decides that it's best to purchase. But we're open to all conversations. Really,
Okay.
if someone has interest in investing in our community, then we're willing to get creative.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear that, I guess.
Yeah, and any other questions? I've given this spiel a few times in the past couple of months, but I will be candid, I have a 1-year-old who is not sleeping, and so it's my bedtime. But so I'll just touch on some of the recent projects that we've done, because they're probably things that you've seen in the paper, but our name isn't always the first one that comes up. The first one is the new Mediska facility. So Mediska Pharmaceuticals that just moved into a bright, shiny, beautiful pharmaceutical warehouse over on Tom Miller Road, 60,000 square feet. They are TDC's longest standing tenant. So they have been with us for 30 years as of this year. They've started in a very small location within the industrial parks. Over the time grew, purchased the building from TDC, continued to lease additional space. And one of the things that we do that sets us aside from just being a landlord is we have a lot of interest in that continuing relationship. So we do what we call our business retention survey. We go around and we meet with all of our tenants, we tour their facilities and talk about, what are they hoping to accomplish? Do they have projects planned? How is their employment changing? How can we be supportive? And from this, we can identify when tenants really want to grow. And we had identified this with Mediska, and our board had approved a new spec building, and we said, is now the right time? And it was, and so they've more than doubled their square footage, they're adding significant jobs, and it really is a beautiful state-of-the-art facility. And so that's really one of the benefits of being a tenant in our park, because we have all of these buildings and a willingness to get creative. So if a company comes in and they decide the space doesn't work for me, but I still have 2 years left on my lease, but I need twice as much space, we're able to help them accommodate that, and really build these relationships and help them to continue to invest in the region.
So I guess that kind of speaks that you can achieve that longevity
Yes.
in a lease to make that work.
Oh, we absolutely can.
Yeah, it can happen.
It can. The other big project we had last year was the grand opening of the former Clinton County Airport. It's the Clinton County Business and Innovation Gateway. We love acronyms in economic development, and so it gets confusing. So this is another one of those public-private partnerships. TDC came in as a private partner and provided some match funding for, there was EDA funding, NBRC, like I said, acronym, alphabet soup, with the Clinton County and the town of Plattsburgh. So we helped develop infrastructure to access road that is ready for development. And so just another piece of evidence as to how we work with our partners to bring progress. Oh, and yes, of course, the microbird deal. So TDC is a significant part in that solution as well. As the NOVA departure was announced, we were a big part of the strategic approach to that response. And as Microbird came in, TDC was able to offer up some additional solutions for space that they needed through both land and rental space to help them choose Clinton County as their location. So we're really excited to be a part of that and for that success. Like I said, jobs retained are just as important.
Yes, yes.
And we work to create a sense of community within the industrial parks. We do that through our Park Perks program is one thing. We bring in food trucks and coffee trucks and just try to create a sense of community through the employers and the folks that are working there. It's always a really popular day. If you have the coffee truck, people will come. It's a great way to get people back into the industrial parks where they've never really been and they don't really know what companies are there. It's blatant bribery, but it works every time. And another is through our campaigns on how we showcase the people working in the parks. You know, quite often you see the company name or the person at the head of the company whose story is the one being told. And there are a lot of folks within TDC's buildings and around our industrial parks that have incredible stories that could really resonate with students that are trying to identify their path. And so we introduced the Groundbreakers campaign a couple of years ago where we had folks write in nominations, and we had 3 in our first round. One is a young man who had dropped out of high school and then participated in this kind of manufacturing training program. And from that, he has since earned his GED, he's working at Schluter Systems, and he's really created a really fantastic career path for himself. Another is someone who went to college, it wasn't for them, and then worked their way from the bottom up to be plant manager with one of our tenants. And then another is, she has an engineering degree from Clarkson, or planning, Jessica from the town of Plattsburgh. So really just showing a wide range of opportunities where you can have success and be in this region, because retaining the youth and attracting people back to the area and just trying to do anything we can to help support population growth. Something I forget. I think I hit on it. So, questions, comments, limericks, caffeine, I'll take it all.
You guys have any additional questions?
I just don't know if you're aware, we have a marketing video that highlights some points here in the town, and if that's something that you can use through your resources, we would be more than happy to give you
Well,
that.
definitely, we did, Danielle and I spoke 4 years ago, starting this endeavor. You were in Renee's position at that point, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that's where we kind of beefed up the marketing of that local park here in Champlain. And we share each other's stuff, but I think what Jason's pointing out is if you could actually use some of the videos, some of the testimonials and stuff that we post, that may be useful,
Absolutely, yeah, we work with Boyer Benner Group to do a
Yeah,
lot of our
same
marketing,
here.
and so I'm sure that they'd probably be willing to do a little bit of cross-pollination there, so that's fantastic. And for anything that you're doing, TDC also has, something I actually didn't have in my notes, a really comprehensive data center software, I guess is a better word for it, where we have access to all types of data as far as folks that are working in the region, jobs that are open, how many people are driving in to work into a community, really detailed information, wages and skills gaps and degrees that have been awarded. So if there's there are any projects or anything that the town is doing where that type of data can be useful, please let us know.
Grant applications.
Grant applications, big one.
Definitely. That would be useful. So where's your mind going? I'll do a testimonial with Danielle down at Keith's
That was
ideas.
No.
what I had, but, is that in your head?
Yeah,
That was in my head.
and just how we can continue fostering the partnership and make it so everybody's benefiting.
Absolutely. No, the Champlain Industrial Park it's a draw for a lot of companies. Most people assume that they wanna go straight to Plattsburgh, but there are a lot of companies where being in that closer proximity, and really, I mean, we have the data, there is available workforce that's here. It's just, like I said, retaining the young folks, drawing people back, and really telling the story about, it's not just about those population centers, and clusters of folks where development can happen.
So you talked about your coffee trucks within your parks in Plattsburgh. Would that work here to help draw more attention by getting the folks that are there more involved with each other?
It's possible. Normally they have like a threshold for how many people they like to see, but I think that there are additional trucks that are popping up, and I don't know if.
So maybe what we can do is I'll take a look at some of the data of where the major concentrations of employees are.
Yeah.
And I can share that with you, and that would be a way to be able to begin the conversation about hosting those types of pop-up events. Pop-up events that started getting big pre-pandemic everywhere, to try to get folks to reconnect with each other and do some networking, and then the pandemic hit, so a lot of that sort of petered out. But, you know, from here to Albany, there's so many similarities in the needs and the desires and the demographics, that I think that it is something that could be successful as long as you're hitting the right location and the right time and the target market.
Yeah, well, we do it here, right here at the office once a month, and it's quite popular, but, I don't know, I was just thinking if it was during the day, lunch hour, try to give an opportunity for all those businesses to come out and partake, if it would help. Get a video of it. Showcase it some more.
Absolutely. It's all about telling the story.
Just a thought.
Any other questions?
Most of them too good at their job explaining it.
Well, if you do have questions, you can find us at tdcnny.com. All of our contact information is there. Social media as well, and we're pretty accessible. So we're happy to chat anything that could help spur development and, yeah, bring jobs.
Come up and see us next Thursday, because we have a business after hours at the EMS station.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
Fantastic. Yeah.
come up on your way home, it's just a little out of the
Oh,
way.
yeah, just a little out of the way. Hey, I can catch 11 and be home, so we're good.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
If you have any questions or need anything and you don't know where to go, just give us a call.
Yeah.
We have a very well-developed network and pretty long history of experience working with local, federal, state partners, so we'd be happy to help direct you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny.
Absolutely. Take care, stay warm.
Safe ride home. Good night's sleep. All right, so now we're entering the public hearing, so I need a motion, please, to recess the regular business meeting and enter the public hearing on local law number 1 of 2025, outdoor restraint of dogs.
I make a motion to exit the regular business meeting and enter into the public hearing for local law number 1 of 2025, outdoor restraint of dogs.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, does anybody want to introduce yourselves and anything to say about the public hearing in regards to this law?
Yes, I have a very brief thing to say. Lisa and I are here. We've been working together on various tether laws throughout the county for the last year together. April is when we started together. I brought my dog Daisy tonight, and she's a big supporter of the dog tether law, and she's a resident of Champlain. Daisy is the exact same age as the dog, the husky, up in Moores that spent its 11 and a half years on a chain. I cannot imagine a dog spending its entire life on a chain out in the middle of a field. One thing that's been missing from this entire dog tether life law fight has been the realization that we're dealing with animal issues. Real life living creatures that feel pain and suffering. Unfortunately, this dog tether law issue has become more political than anything else. Republicans pushing over Democrats and vice versa. Farmers and hunters fighting a law with everything they've got. When these are simply dogs who by nature are pack animals and they want to be everywhere we are. Unfortunately, when dogs are chained long term, they suffer severe neglect. They can get struck by lightning, which has happened in Peru, choked to death. They can break their neck when they get running and they snap back on a strong tether. Black flies eat their eyes in the heat, and cold winter months give them frostbite on their nose and paws. Sometimes their only shelter is a deck or the underside of a truck. They drink frozen water and eat frozen food, or have no food or water at all. They freeze to death. They overheat, they get dehydrated, lack proper veterinary care, and can spread diseases. Dogs that are chained long-term suffer psychological damage as they become extremely bored and lonely. Many can become dangerous and aggressive. Chained dogs become a safety threat to the community. A dog can either win the lottery and live in a house like mine, or get a great owner, or lose that lottery and get an owner that treats that dog only like an option, where the dog starves to death on a chain, lonely, its entire life. This is animal cruelty. If you can't take a dog inside and make it part of your family, don't get a dog. Thank you to the town board, and specifically Tom Trombley, who has taken this matter seriously and drafted a well-written dog tether law for the town of Champlain. The town of Ausable, village of Champlain, they have both already created their law, and it's my understanding Rouse's Point is right behind you, while the city of Plattsburgh and town of Plattsburgh are also working on their laws too. Beekman Town is proposing their law this week, I believe, as well as Peru is in the early stages. I hope you and the board members vote yes to the tether law. It's been a long year, and this is a step in the right direction. I wish more towns would take this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay. Well, if no one else has anything to say, especially positive, then I guess we could end the public hearing and move on. We will address the adoption of this law under new business when I get to it. So I welcome a motion to end the public hearing and re-enter, or resume, I should say, our regular business.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Well, that was positive reinforcement, so I'm sure we're fine. Moving forward. Next will be the report from the supervisor. Good evening, and congratulations to the Village of Rouse's Point trustees, Dale Menard and Nick Southwick, on their election to office. And congratulations to Village of Champlain trustees, Kim Trombley and Nikki Malinsky, on their election to office as well. Weather permitting, the highway department will be sweeping and cleaning the roads in the coming weeks. Please be aware of them in your travels and slow down when in the work zone for their safety and yours. The traffic delineators are being prepared by the highway department and will be installed on Prospect Road along the trail soon. Never stop snowing. And our community health survey. Thank you to all who completed the community health survey for the Eat Smart, Waste Less program that we are offering. We will be discussing details of the program under new business tonight. The containers have been ordered, and as soon as all materials are in, we will post it on our website and Facebook page on how to get started. New York State Electric and Gas, NYSEG, has begun the phase 1 of the smart meter installations. This is for both natural gas and electric meters. Residents should get a call 1 or 2 days prior, provided that your phone number is listed with NYSEG. There is no requirement for you to be home for the installations, and in most cases the power will not be interrupted. So that has happened where they weren't able to reach anybody and they changed the meter. There are advantages to the customer for this updated equipment. And I'm just stating the facts. Usage readings are constantly available on your account by going to the NYSEG website and logging into the portal, allowing the ability for you to see the trending of your electric usage. If you do not have an online account, it is easy to register on that same page. There are no longer estimated billings as the usage is monitored real time. There will be faster responses to power outages as it will notify NYSEG immediately. Now you may opt out, although there is a monthly fee of $13.47 per month. If you do, to do that, you must call 1-800-572-1111 to opt out. I am providing this portion of information for your awareness only. If you have any questions or concerns regarding your meter, please call the specialist at NYSEG at 1-800-572-1111. And they'll be glad to help answer the questions and guide you through it and make sure you have what you want, give you the information you need before you opt out, not knowing what you're doing. Our next Trex Plastics program. Thank you to all who have been donating plastics to be recycled for this project, and thank you to Price Chopper Market 32 for sponsoring this. Please continue to save and bring in your plastics as we're now partnering with the Champlain Rouse's Point Kiwanis for their 2025 project, which we have collected 34% of the goal to 1,000 pounds already. It's amazing. We continue to have a collection box at Champlain Technology Group for those who wish to drop off plastic when they're stopping in to pay the phone bill. Thank you to CTG for this. And our collection bin is located inside at the main entrance to the town offices here, where you would go to see the town clerk, the supervisor, or code enforcement. So it's just inside the door. Champlain Fire District. I had the opportunity to tour the new fire station yesterday. Thank you to the Champlain Fire Department for inviting me. It is coming along nicely, and now that the temperatures are suitable to complete the roofing, you will see a significant increase in contractors working there. It's going to be a beautiful facility for the firemen and the community. Comprehensive plan revision. The next comprehensive planning committee meeting is April 29th. This will be the team's practice run for the upcoming community workshop. The next community workshop is going to be May 22nd at 6 p.m. It will be held at St. Mary's Parish Center on Church Street in Champlain, New York. Details will be provided via an advertising flyer soon, which will be posted on the town and village's Facebook pages and available through the Smart Growth Comp Plan link on our website. Please visit our website periodically to keep informed. The Miramar properties. The 19 acres of the mall. Our town attorney is currently working with the owner's attorney in regard to clearing the deeds and titles and to secure a plan to secure the hazardous building and dilapidated building. This seems to be moving in a positive direction. The 22 acres submitted for housing, we're still waiting for the publication of the housing study. I will report further information as it becomes available. Bob Webb Fitness Center project. We have signed the grant disbursement agreement, GDA, and are submitting invoices for reimbursement. Our tentative project timeline is as follows. Hoping to measure and stake out the site by the end of April. Excavation of courts and parking lot, middle of May. And pouring of concrete will be dependent upon our diesel incorporated, so the schedule is to be determined. And the installation of the fitness court equipment, just found a typo, is also to be determined depending on when the concrete is done. Great Chazy River Project. Currently, our AES grant writing consultant and Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning, are working together to determine where to apply for funding for a feasibility study. I will update when more information is available. And I want to thank the Champlain Lake George Regional Planning for their help in trying to secure this. They are very beneficial to our county as well, because it's no charge for their assistance. Clinton County Health Department, complete streets. As reported previously, the remainder of improvements to our parks and streets will be completed in the spring, summer of 2025. There's still a crosswalk at Church Street and South Street to increase safety for pedestrians walking to Dollar General. We need to remove the shared road markings on Prospect along the rec trail and install new shared road markings inside the trail along Prospect. No parking signs and benches will be installed at Perry's Mills Park soon. Elm Street Culvert Project. We are addressing the scope of proposal from Stantec and new business tonight. New York State DOT has approved that proposal, and we expect to be under construction in the spring of 2026. Sewer District 7 project. We were presented with cost comparisons between two types of distribution systems from Barton and Judas at a special meeting held on March 25th. The two types were low pressure delivery and standard gravity. We chose the low pressure delivery due to a much lower cost. The gravity system was $3 million more, leaving a very tight budget with very little contingency funds. The district reformation will be addressed in tonight's meeting. And if you were listening earlier, there is a Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours scheduled for next Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at the Champlain EMS Station number 1 on Route 11 here in Champlain. So all businesses in Champlain, please support this fun event, and also board members too, if you can make it. It's always a great time, and we are members there. So please support. Please visit our website and Facebook page for information on events going on around the town. The town is continually seeking to appoint more alternates to the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board. Please consider serving the town in this capacity, as we need talented citizens of this township to become involved and assist us in moving forward. Please contact me for details if you are interested. And please note, please feel free to stop in. I'll be happy to discuss the town's projects and objectives with you. Thank you to all veterans and active military men and women for your service. And also thank you to all first responders, both paid and volunteer, of our EMS and fire departments, and our police officers for your dedication to your community. Thank you. Reports from the council members. Councilmember Moore, let's start with you tonight. I know you have Councilmember Hunters as well, so.
I'll do Rick Hunter's
Report first, okay.
Yes. He's mentioning the spring cleanup in Rouse's Point. There'll be from May 5th until May 9th. There will be absolutely be no pickups after that date. Residents are reminded that the limbs for any branches or anything cannot exceed 3 inches in diameter. No pickup of paint cans, tires, stumps, waste oil, stones, cement, or wood, other than branches. Residents are requested to bag all leaves in clear bags only and place them at curbside in such a position that parked cars do not block the pickup. This will greatly facilitate the collection. Please note that beginning in October, Village of Rouse's Point residents will no longer be able to leave their loose leaves in plastic bags for curb pickup. Instead, you'll have to use biodegradable paper bags for yard waste. No plastic bags will be accepted. And if you have any other questions, I'm sure if you call the village office, 297-5502. Okay, yeah, I think so too. But that's for the Village of Rouse's Point. The Champlain Fire Department, they'll be working on Cardan Road to install a new dry hydrant starting on April 10th. So there'll be a little bit of work there, starting tomorrow. And then the contractor will be starting on the final stages of the new Champlain Fire Station roof this week. And several contractors will be working there, so there'll be a lot of traffic, just be aware of it. And then Tom has mentioned the North Country Chamber of Commerce business hours, after hours,
Yep.
April 17th. And apparently it's open to the public, so,
Yes, non-members would, I believe, it's a $10 fee instead of $5. I think that's the only difference. But yes, it is.
so that's April 17th, 5:30 to 7.
And it's a great way to make connections.
And the DEC burn ban will continue to be in effect until May 14th of this year. So you have until May 14th where you can't open burn your brush and your leaves and everything else. In the village of Rouse's Point, the village is working with the New York Power Authority to keep the village rates for electricity down. So if you have any questions about what they're doing, because that has been in the news a lot with the border, you can give the village a call also. The village board meetings are Monday, April 21st at 7 p.m. and May 5th at 8 p.m. at the Halsted Hall. Meetings the first and third Mondays of each month and are open to the public. The Rouse's Point Village Office will be closed on April 18th in observance of Good Friday. Village of Rouse's Point property owners who have outstanding sewer and water bills are due April 30th. After that, any water and sewer arrears are added to your tax bill and collected during the June 1st, 2025 village tax bills. The Rouse's Point Board of Trustees will be meeting the second Wednesday of the month in the library's Ross nonfiction room from 5:15 to 6:15. Meetings are open to the public. And also the Friends of the Board of Directors meeting is April 16th for the Library Executive Directors meeting, which is each third Wednesday of the month, 5:30 to 6:30. Meetings are open to the public. There's Veterans of the United Foundation scholarships. Applications for scholarships create opportunities for family members. The applications open April 1st and the deadline is April 30th. For more information on eligibility criteria and other requirements, you can go to the town website. It's just a web address. The high school scholarship opportunity, high school scholarships are available to any graduating senior from Clinton or Essex County has chosen a degree in healthcare related field, including but not limited to nursing, PT, OT, speech therapy, pharmacy, radiology school, EMT, etc. Applications needed to be complete in their entirety and received by the scholarship committee no later than April 16th, 2025. And you should go to the town website. It's also a quite lengthy.
Okay. I'll put it on first thing in the morning.
And I can just give this to you after. Also to remind residents that there are certain programs, state benefit programs, there are over 115 New York social service programs available for residents that qualify. Again, this will be on the link, the same as with the scholarships. Charter Communications on or around April 15th. Spectrum will launch another Spanish language high-def channel on number 799. If you have any questions about local law number 1 of 2025 regarding dog licensing and fees, you may contact Julie Castine, town clerk, if you have any questions. And if you have any dog, escaped dog questions, or need a dog picked up that's running wild, you can call the town dog control officer at 314-9867. And there's also a dog, the website you can go to.
On our website, there's a link.
Yes, link to the website. And you can also see the code for chapter 66, which controls the dog's dog process. And that's all we have. Okay,
That was a duel and you're done?
yes.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Southwick.
I'm up. About our youth, Champlain and Rouse's Point youth baseball, softball, and t-ball registration forms can now be found on the website. Return your forms to your child's school, or you can email the forms back to our youth commissioner at REC Department, Rec, DEPT, at Town of Champlain. We had a great turnout for our Spring Spirit Invitational last Saturday. All cheering youths from 5 area schools participated, and I believe from the picture I counted over 80 participants. Cute kids, all having a good time.
Nice number.
Yes, please look in the near future for information regarding our summer youth swim program. That will also be on our webpage. We are currently running lifeguard classes, and between the youth program and the adult swimming programs, we anticipate beginning this summer, there are job opportunities that will be available. The planning board met on the 3rd of April. Approval was given to merge together for the sale of a home and with property. The next planning board meeting is scheduled for May 1st. Should there be any items on the agenda, again, please check the website to confirm that the meeting will be held. And that's all I have for
Thank you very much. Councilmember Bory,
All right.
AKA Tibia.
Well, thank you. I'll start with ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals. You've got the minutes here, and it looks like no action was taken, and it looks like there was a rescheduling. Did they ever have that meeting, Julie, or the one on March 20?
Yes.
They did. All right. And action was taken?
They approve the variances.
They approved it,
yes.
okay, so, all right, very good. And is there business scheduled for, what would be the 17th? Do you know if there's business ahead?
May 15th, or no,
Seven-
April,
Yeah, 17th?
yeah, we have.
Okay, so the next meeting of the zoning board of appeals will be on April 17th at 5:30 here at the town office. That's again, the 17th of April at 5:30 right here at the town office. For marketing, it was nice to hear from the group. I think there's a connection we can make there, or a
greater connection.
yeah, a greater connection, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That we can support each other maybe more than we're already doing.
Mhm.
But Dorothea brought this to my attention, we need to pick the filming dates for the next set of testimonials. And that was May 7th and
7th or
9th? Yeah, so we just need to determine what day so we can go back to those people who have agreed, and
Yeah,
we
I've
can
got
set it-
one I haven't contacted yet.
we can set up a shooting schedule. Film shooting schedule.
And what did you pick, the 7th?
7th or the 9th are the 2
The
days.
7th was in the morning.
Yeah.
And then the 9th was in the afternoon.
Okay. Those days are fine with me. So, May 7th, morning hours. I'm assuming like 9,
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds right.
and May 9th, starting what time?
I think he had one.
Yeah, I think it was Yep.
1 to 5,
Yeah, it was later.
and the morning was 9 to 1.
Which one do you prefer? I can do either one. I guess, yeah, nine would fit better for me than a nine.
I know one of the fellows that I contacted would prefer a morning time.
Yeah, maybe we just look to the 7th and try to schedule everything on the 7th if we can.
Okay, so I'm gonna have
Like
to.
we did the last time.
Yeah.
Yes, I say, because that, I think saves on costs if we can get it all done in one day, or done in the time frame that they've set up, rather than having to come up a second day. Maybe before we depart today, we try to figure out if we could even try to pick a time frame where, so I remember last time we kind of told people it's roughly gonna be around this time. I think we kind of set the schedule and then
We did.
told, yeah, so.
We did, but I guess a good way to start is like, I'll go to my two contacts, find out what's best for them. I'm thinking one of them might be best at the end, right, by lunchtime.
Okay.
Might be easier for
So why
the
don't we do
restaurant.
that? Why don't we put, why don't we put, our efforts to asking when they would be best available for that day during that time?
Yep.
Okay, all right, very good. Hometown heroes, other than Sarah working tirelessly to get some letters together, to those who have exhausted the number of years of the program, just to see if they are interested, if the banners are in good enough shape, versus those who are going to get their banners back. But we're also gonna encourage anybody that has already had a banner and they're no longer part of the program, if they'd like to apply for another banner, they're more than welcome to do so. And anybody who has would like to apply for a banner and hasn't done so, we would ask that you do that. It will probably not be this year, but we will have it for the next year. So, Hometown Heroes is a great program. We partner with the Champlain Technology Group in hanging the banners, and it's been a huge success. So we encourage anybody that would like a banner or renew a banner, please make sure you contact us. Information is on our website, or you can call Sarah right here at the town office. Next food truck event is gonna be here at the town office on April 15th, tax day, so come on down to the town office. It's a longer day. We're gonna do a lunch and dinner combo, so it's gonna be from 11 to 6, and we have Lightning Lardy's Barbecue is gonna be here. He does accept cash and Venmo, and that's on the 15th of April, right here at the town office, from 11 to 6. Clinton County Health Department, their rabies clinic, that's gonna be here in the village of Champlain, will be on May 20th. So that's at the Champlain Fire Department at 162 Elm Street. You do need to register for that, but that's on May 20th. There's gonna be a Medicare 101 class presented by the Clinton County Office for the Aging, right here at the town office. It's gonna be on June 17th from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon. And you do not have to be a town resident to attend. Anybody is welcome to come to this presentation. They're gonna be discussing, basically, as any 101 class would suggest, the basic ins and outs of Medicare Parts A, B, C, and D. So if you are somebody who's aging and getting ready to be part of this world of Medicare, or you're currently a part of it and need more information, please feel free to come by. That's on June 17th. We'll remind you that of an upcoming meetings, but you can put it on your calendar now. 65 and if you're turning 65 or older. Rouse's Point Stars and Stripes on the Lake Independence Day celebration is going to be June 27th, 28th, and 29th in the village of Rouse's Point. They're currently looking for vendors of all types, food trucks, people selling wares, any kind of, I guess, guess, food and entertainment. We're looking for all kinds of vendors, volunteers, people to help out, parade entries for the big grand parade on Sunday evening, and any kind of sponsors. If there are any businesses out there that would like to help sponsor the event, they are still accepting sponsorships for the celebration. And I can mark that it's very, very expensive to put on the festival. It costs thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do. So if you love fireworks and parades and music and food, it needs to help to be paid for. So sponsors are very, very helpful. This year it's 80s theme. Not the 1880s, but the 1980s. So get out your neon and your big hair and your bangle bracelets and all that good stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want more information, you can go to www.rpstarsandstripes.com. That's www.rpstarsandstripes.com. And that "and" is spelled out A-N-D. And I have one more thing. The town office will be closed on April 18th in observance of Good Friday and the Easter holiday weekend. So ends the report.
Thank you very much, Ken. That's one of the was great. Okay, thank you all for all your time. Hard work. Report from the town clerk.
You have my monthly report for approval?
Yes, we do. So we have the total local shares was 778. It's amazing how it all adds up, huh? Welcome a motion to approve the report as presented.
Make a motion to accept the town clerk's monthly report for the month of March as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Here's your soft copy. Thank you, Julie, for that. Okay. Review of the abstract post audit bills. Are there any questions in regards to the abstract, which is all the regular payments that happen month to month throughout the year? Tonight. If not, we'll move on to the approval of monthly bills. Which you have, and the bill report total. Okay, so the bill report total is $98,305.95 with one additional bill. I don't have the amount, so what is this one for?
It's like
98,410.95.
Yeah, 98,410 is the new total, so we have to.
105.
105? Oh, I see, it's just,
See, it's kind of
Yeah.
set over.
it's tabbed too far.
Yep, I see it now. It was in the account number. So with the additional bill of $105 for a total of $98,410.95.
You see the doors are in here, but that's court grant, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's the down payment for that. You'll see another one next month
Okay.
for the remainder.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the monthly bills with the additional amount totaling $98,410.95 as submitted.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Could you roll call, please?
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you, carried. Report from the code officers. Anybody have any question on Chris's report? May or may not be able to help you, it keeps you pretty well informed of stuff that's going on, within the town. I know this report encompasses all three of us. If you have any questions, I think I probably can help you out.
Did they put up a new house on the Hayford Road? Is that what that is?
Okay, which one you got? Let me take a look at that.
Single family dwelling?
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna find it out to know what I'm talking about.
It's on inspections,
Maybe on.
foundation, footing, site inspection, HVAC.
So this one that's, yes, there it is,
Framing,
mhm,
haven't been down the road in a while.
yep, so it's under construction. Uh, 810. I think that one sits back from the road quite a ways, you can't see it from the road.
Say that again, I'm
I think
sorry.
it sits way back, that's why you
Oh.
probably haven't noticed it. And it's on the portion, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's on the portion between Route 11 and Prospect. This section there. So they're way behind Moss's house, almost where Bird's driveway used to be.
Okay.
So if there's no other further questions, I'll move on. I do not have a report from the highway superintendent. I do know that he's anxiously trying to get equipment cleaned and painted, but the weather's not cooperating. I think he's anxious to start sweeping roads, but again, the weather's not cooperating. And when we talk about signs later, I'll report that we had one blow over in that heavy wind, so he might pick that up for us, and I'll talk about it when we get to that.
Yeah, I think I saw it on my
Yeah,
way home
same.
Sunday.
Same.
When we get to old business, we'll have a
Okay.
discussion. Okay, correspondence, you've got Charter Communications, the almost monthly posting of upcoming changes. Then you have your zoning board of appeals minutes and planning board minutes, which you'll discuss, both of you. And this here, North Country Honor Run 2025 in US Oval Walk sponsorship. Did you have a chance to look at that email from Emmeline Brunel, who was a student of Beatontown Middle School? Should I read this real quick? I think it would be probably useful,
Can
right?
summarize it, sure.
My name is Emmeline Burrell. I'm a seventh grade student at Beatontown Middle School, and we are hosting Honor Run 2025. It's a 5K and 1 mile US Oval Walk to benefit the North Country Honor Flight on May 17th, 2025. I do not have a time, but I can find out and probably post it on our Facebook page when I get the details. Seniors at Beamantown hosted this event in 2019. Later, it was sidelined by the pandemic. Seniors and seventh graders brought it back to life last year, and this year we're continuing the tradition and hoping to make it a bigger and better than ever event. Proceeds from this event will benefit North Country Honor Flight, a nonprofit organization that honors veterans by sending them to Washington, D.C. The honor flights visit the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery, the U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial, the World War II Memorial, and the Korean War Memorial, the Air Force Memorial, and the Vietnam Memorial. There are 3 ways you can help us. One is donate. We're accepting monetary or product donations for prizes and raffle baskets, so that'd be great. 2, participate. Sign yourself up as a team to run. 3, spread the word. Find us on Facebook and share, tell a friend or request a poster. We're working on it. So that's where I wanted to talk to the board about making a donation to this. I think it's a very, very honorable event that they're doing. And we do have funds that were allocated for another donation that we do not have. It's not available to donate to at this time. That was for the, God, what's that called?
Life flight.
Life Flight, yes, that's what it was, if you remember right. They kind of got disorganized and we're not able to donate at this time, let's put it that way. So I'd like to,
So there's a donation that we have available.
there you go. I think this
It's
is.
that, or we, since Rick's not here, we signed Rick up to participate.
That's a great idea. Rick, when you see this, do you think it's a great idea? Maybe we do both. Yeah.
Do you need a motion, or is that something?
Yeah,
Want to
and-
do business?
Yeah, let's put a motion on the table in a second, we'll determine how much, get a dollar amount and we'll approve it. Or do you want to grab a dollar amount now and put it in your motion, that's fine.
Do we know what was available, or what is available?
Yeah, so I thought $200 is available, so.
If that's not gonna be, if that's not used for the other donation, I'd say we probably give them the full amount, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think it's fine, yeah.
As Tom was saying, it's a really good project.
Of course.
It's an awesome project.
Yeah, many of our community members participate in it too.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, right now, they are looking for Vietnam veterans. That's what we're concentrating on. It really gives us and all the other conflicts and wars.
Yes, because this is the 80th year of the closure, or what would be now getting towards the end of the war in Europe, so 80 years ago.
True. Okay.
I'll make a motion to donate $200 towards the Honor Run 2025 to benefit North Country Honor Flight as proposed here in Evelyn Burnell's request.
Very good.
I'd be happy to second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, roll call please.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Carried. Thank you very much.
Sarah, can we put this information on our website, so that way if our town residents wanna sign up or participate or donate, they can,
Yeah, we gotta, I'll have to email and get a time on that. Yeah, it's not in there. I'm not seeing it. But we have a date, May 17th, so mark your calendar. It's probably in the morning. Distribution of funds, I provided this to all of you for an understanding of how there isn't really a simple formula of how fines are computated and how we get a, you know, how the lion's share goes to the state and we get a small amount. Again, if you have any questions, I'll try to answer it, otherwise it was all just for your information. You know, the distribution of codes gives you an idea, but it doesn't, as they say, there's no hard, fast formula, which is kind of hard to understand. Okay, new business. Getting to the part folks are waiting for.
She's being really good though, we gotta
She's
admit.
being very.
It's been very good. Resolution number 10 of 2025 for the adoption of local law number 1 of 2025. I would just like to read the preamble of the law in case someone missed the introduction of it. By adoption of this local law, the town of Champlain declares its intent to regulate and control the outdoor confinement of dogs restrained or kept on property located within the town. The town of Champlain has determined that the practice of tethering a dog outside for a prolonged period to a stationary object, including but not limited to a structure, pole, or tree, is inhumane and presents a threat to the safety and well-being of the dog. Dogs tethered to a fixed point are also more likely to become aggressive and present a threat to human beings as well as other animals. Tethers, chains, and other restraints can also injure dogs, as the restraint may tangle or catch on other objects. The town of Champlain is aware that animals tied to stationary objects outside for extended periods of time are also frequently the victims of other forms of neglect, including insufficient food and or water, or inadequate shelter. Furthermore, dogs confined for long periods of time often vocalize the signal of distress and thereby disrupt the peace and quiet of the community. All dogs need the opportunity to exercise and engage in normal social behaviors. Indefinite long-term confinement of any dog by any means of restraint is generally considered to be inhumane and unacceptable. Therefore, the town of Champlain finds that this is in the best interest of its residents as well as their dogs to ensure the safety of all by regulating the manner in which a dog may be restrained or confined outdoors. You're free to come in and get a copy of this local law to find the details. It does not prevent restraint entirely, it just puts some limitations. I don't want to read all 8 or 10 pages that I wrote there. And so again, this is adoption of local law number 1 of 2025 entitled A Local Law Regulating the Outdoor Restraint of Dogs of the Code of the Town of Champlain. Whereas the Town of Champlain the town board has identified the need to establish a local law to regulate the outdoor restraint of dogs for the Town of Champlain. And whereas this law will classify stricter regulations pursuant to the provisions of Article 7 of the Agricultural and Markets Law, Section 122, and the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York. And whereas the town board intends to add this local law to the current Chapter 66, Dog Control, of the Code of Town of Champlain to address the present needs of the town of Champlain. And whereas the town board had previously initiated the adoption process per subsection 272-A of town law and introduced local law number 1 of 2025 on March 11, 2025. And now, therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Champlain does hereby approve and adopt local law number 1 of 2025. Motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve resolution number 10 of 2025, adoption of local law number 1 of 2025.
Thank you. And a second, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you very much. Okay, and be it further resolved that a roll call vote is carried to approve said resolution. Please.
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Councilmember Hunter is absent, he is on here. Okay, thank
So-
you, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, greatly appreciated.
Very welcome. Long time coming.
Thank you guys.
And thanks for your assistance too.
Thanks for
If
pushing
it's all right,
it.
can I get a very, very fast picture, or at the end, either way, of you guys?
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, we got a ways to go here.
2 seconds, can you gather like 2
Do
seconds?
you want to recess for a few seconds to do that, or
Don't even have to.
do you have to? Okay.
2 seconds literally, and I'll be out of here. I just want, it's a big deal to me, and
You can't get us like this, no?
if they can go that way, and that's it.
Want us to go over there?
Just right next to Tom, maybe,
I'll
or
move, I'll move over this way and Brian will come around.
2 second picture, cause this is,
Do you want me to hold your dog?
why don't you get in it? You wanna get in it?
Yeah.
Here, put Daisy, like, she's happy. Alright, sit right there, and there we go, okay, thank you guys. Sit down, Dave. Guess the leash isn't helping anything, I'm sorry. Thank you guys, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Come on, this way, that's our way. Bye, have a good night.
You too. Okay, on to resolution number 11 of 2025. Introduction of local law number 2 of 2025, entitled A Local Law Changing the Office of the Highway Superintendent from Elective to Appointed in the Town of Champlain. Whereas the office of Town Highway Superintendent for the Town of Champlain is now and always been elective, and has always been elective. And whereas in order to provide the town board of the Town of Champlain more authority to guide and manage the considerable sum of highway department funds that taxpayers have entrusted, the town board with, I got a typo in there.
I don't think so.
The town board with and to establish?
You entrusted the town board with.
Yes, you're right. I was reading ahead, I'm sorry, let me start that over. Have entrusted the town board with, and to establish and administer the required working hours and work-related qualifications and responsibilities of the highway superintendent. And whereas the town board has identified it is in the best interest of the town for the office of the highway superintendent to be an appointive rather than elective office under the management of the town board. And whereas such change is subject to a mandatory referendum, therefore it is required that a proposition on the local law shall be placed on the November 4th, 2025 general election ballot, and which allows the electors of the town of Champlain to choose to have an appointed rather than elected highway superintendent. Therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Champlain does hereby introduce local law number 2 of 2025, which would allow the electors of the town of Champlain to choose to have an appointed rather than elected highway superintendent. And be it further resolved that a roll call vote is carried to approve said resolution. So I need a motion to approve the resolution.
I can make a motion to approve resolution number 11 of 2025, introducing local law number 2, entitled, Local Law Changing the Office of Highway Superintendent from Elective to Appointive in the Town of Champlain.
I'll second it, I'll second that one, okay? Now roll call, please.
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. And now therefore be it resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately. And I will read the preamble to the law, and again, this law is drafted to get this on the referendum for public vote. And feel free to come and ask any questions. This has nothing to do with the current highway superintendent. This is in general, and it is looking toward the future. That's all I can say. So the office of town of highway superintendent for town of Champlain is now and always been elected. Boy, is it same as what I entered with? Almost, So in order to provide the town board of the town of Champlain more authority to guide and manage a considerable sum of highway department funds that taxpayers have entrusted the town board with, and to establish and administer the required working hours and work-related qualifications and responsibilities of the highway superintendent, it is in the best interest of the town for the office of the highway superintendent to be an appointed rather than an elective office under the management of the town board. Such change is subject to mandatory referendum, therefore a proposition on local law shall be placed on the November 4th, 2025 general election ballot, which allows the electors of the town of Champlain to choose to have an appointed rather than elected highway superintendent. I think I kind of repeated, but I wanted to get the preamble out there. I want to make it perfectly clear that there will be a public hearing. The next resolution is to establish that, to set that public hearing. There will be plenty of information at that public hearing provided, and there will be other meetings following after that to try to make sure everyone is understanding what this is about, the whys and the wherefores, etc. Okay, thank you. So do you have your copy? Okay, that was 11. Resolution number 12 of 2025 to set public hearing for local law number 2 of 2025 entitled "The Local Law Changing the Office of the Highway Superintendent from Elective to Appointed in the Town of Champlain." Whereas the town board has identified it is in the best interest of the town for the office of the highway superintendent to be an appointed rather than elective office under the management of the town board, and whereas such change is subject to a mandatory referendum, therefore it is required that a proposition on the local law shall be placed on the November 4th, 2025 general election ballot, and which allows the electors of the town of Champlain to choose to have an appointed rather than elected highway superintendent. And whereas the town board desires to hold a public hearing with respect to the adoption of said local law, which is dependent on mandatory referendum requiring vote by the electorate. And now, therefore be it resolved, 1, that a public hearing be held by this town board with respect to the adoption of the aforesaid local law at 7:15 p.m. on May 13th, 2025 at the Town of Champlain Municipal Building, 10729 Route 9, Champlain, New York. And 2, that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to cause all required public notices of said hearing to be given as provided by law. And a motion to approve is set forth by.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 12 of 2025, set the public hearing for local law number 2 of 2025.
Thank you. Seconded by.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And now therefore be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately. We just need to, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Okay. Now we're up to Resolution 13. Resolution acknowledging receipt of map, plan, and report by engineer for proposed new sewer district number 7, Town of Champlain, County of Clinton, State of New York, and order calling for public hearing. In the matter of the order calling for public hearing and establishment of Town of Champlain Sewer District 7. Whereas an initial map, plan, and report for proposed Sewer District 7 having been duly filed in the office of the town clerk of the Town of Champlain, New York, on April 8th, 2025, and said map, plan, and report having been recently updated as of April 2nd, 2025, and same having been filed in the office of the town clerk of the Town of Champlain. And whereas the boundaries of said proposed district as set forth in said map, plan, report as described, on Appendix A, Annex hereto. And whereas the maximum amount proposed to be expended for the improvements is $16,370,000, to be funded by a combination of grant and 0% interest loans from New York State DEC WQIP program and New York State Clean Water State Revolving Fund and other state and federal grants. And whereas the $16,370,000 proposed project will be used by the property owners of Sewer District Number 7, and they will contribute an amount toward the debt service based on their portion of equivalent dwelling units, EDUs. The total EDUs in the sewer district, and whereas the maximum cost for the typical users of Champlain Sewer District Number 7 to the typical properties or homes for the identified benefit units in the district according to the engineer's report is estimated to be $660 annually, which that amount is below the average estimated cost to the typical properties or homes for the establishment of similar types of districts as computed by the state comptroller in the calendar year 2025. And whereas the town board as lead agency in accordance with 7 NYCRR Part 617.4 declared a negative declaration of all environmental compliance requirements under Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law and the regulations promulgated hereunder from time to time with respect to the sewer system improvements proposed by the formation of the Champlain Sewer District Number 7 and the environmental compliance file in the matter of the formation of the Champlain Sewer District 7, as contained in the engineer's report, is maintained and on file and available for public inspection at regular business hours at the town hall offices. And whereas the town board wishes to obtain the view of the citizens, public agencies, and other interested persons in the subject thereof, now therefore it is hereby ordered that the town board of the town of Champlain hold a meeting at the town hall located at 10729 Route 9, Champlain, New York, on the 6th day of May, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. to consider the financing and formation of the Champlain Sewer District 7, to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof, and to consider such other action on the part of the town board with relation thereto as may be required by law, and as specifically required in Section 209D of Town Law. And be it further ordered that the aforementioned preliminary map, plan, and report of the engineer and the made thereto are available for public inspection during regular business hours of the town at the town hall located at 10729 Route 9, Champlain, New York. And be it further ordered that the town clerk of the town of Champlain is hereby authorized and directed to publish a notice of the public hearing in the Plattsburgh Press Republican, the official newspaper of the town for such publication, and post on a signboard of the town maintained pursuant to subdivision 7 of section 30 of the town law. A copy of this order certified by said town clerk, the publication thereof, and said posting will be not less than 10 nor more than 20 days before the date of such public hearing. And motion to approve resolution presented by
Make a motion to approve resolution, acknowledgement of receipt of map, plan, and report by the engineer for the proposed new sewer district number 7, and the call for a public hearing.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, both of you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. That carries, and now therefore be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Okay. Thank you. Resolution number 14, to authorize the town supervisor, excuse me, take a second. Resolution number 14 of 2025 to authorize the town supervisor to sign the architectural engineering consultant agreement. This is to authorize the town of Champlain supervisor to sign the architectural engineering consulting agreement for the Elm Street over tributary Great Shazy River. Whereas the town of Champlain has selected the services of Stantec Consulting Services for the Elm Street culvert over the tributary of the Great Shazy River project, and whereas the architectural engineering agreement referenced as municipal agreement number D041534, PIN 7754.40, has been reviewed and approved by New York State Department of Transportation, New York State DOT, and whereas the town board agrees and accepts the conditions and cost estimates specified in the architectural engineering agreement provided by Stantec Consulting Services, and therefore be it resolved that the board of the town of Champlain authorize the town of Champlain supervisor to sign the architectural engineering agreement, and now, therefore be it further resolved that a roll call vote is carried to approve said resolution, and a copy of this resolution is to be given to the secretary of the board for the project file. Motion to approve resolution is presented.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 14 of 2025 to authorize the town of Champlain supervisor to sign the architectural engineering consultant agreement for the Elm Street over tributary Great Shazy River project. Thank you.
Yep. Project should be in that title, that's left.
As presented.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second thought.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. And could I have roll call, please, Julie?
Councilmember Southwick,
Aye.
Councilmember Maury,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you, and now therefore be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Motion carried, thank you. Okay, now we are at the Clinton County Health Department food waste reduction in the town of Champlain. I provided you with the email of what is required of us. And we never got Casella's, right? So we need to make a formal determination of who we're gonna contract with. And if you remember in the presentation, he gave us numbers from Casella, but we have not been able to confirm. But I just remember they were much greater than this outfit in Redford.
Yes.
River Regenerate, call it River Regenerate.
Yes.
So this one here is, the typical rate is $15 per bin. They can either pick up weekly or bi-monthly for cooler months. I know I corrected that because it doesn't make sense to go bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly is twice a week or twice a month?
Yeah, twice a week, bi-monthly would be twice a month.
Okay.
So I think there was a typo there. Either way, it makes sense, so, in the cooler months, we can probably go every other week depending on how much is coming in, or maybe we end up having to add a container, I don't know. I spoke with the mayor this morning, they addressed this last night, this is who they are looking to contract with as well, but they were thinking of doing a joint. She wasn't realizing we would do two separate locations. She was thinking we could do a joint and do one, but I said, we need something out this far too.
Do we have collection sites established?
The only thing we've established here, between our discussions from that last meeting, was starting with here. Everyone from the survey said they're willing to drive 1 to 5 miles. So, or maybe it was the majority of the people from the survey. It was like 35 people that did the survey within the town. So if you do 1 to 5 miles, it may be nice to do it on a location, but I'm not sure how to control that now. Because the other thought I did have was one at in the Paris Mills Park area, but we'd have to have somebody monitor that container, and we can't. We could do it as a trial, I just thought of that. The first year is, under the grant, we could give it a month, and if we're getting nothing but garbage in that container, then we just just discontinue it. That's the fear, right, is that it'd be a great place to get rid of anything, and that's not what it's meant for.
The other,
We're here, we can monitor it.
the other idea would be to link up with like a restaurant. So then it's more,
If you wanted something out that way, what about, what's that, the Twin Bridges, is that
Oh,
the
the VFW?
VFW? I mean, there might be more monitoring out there.
That's a good spot, and then maybe they can contribute to it. I like that idea. I like that, it's a good spot. That's what we're trying to do, is get that side of town.
Yeah. At least there would be more traffic in there, people, you might get also more garbage and more bottles in there, but we can also get bottles.
Well, I don't
5
think,
cents a bottle.
I don't have any intentions of sorting through this thing. This is intended for them to come pick up, and they pick up the whole container,
Right.
and they leave off a new one. That is one difference between them and Casella, is Casella is intending to just have a biodegradable liner inside of it, and they pull that out, and
And then replace it.
they just, yeah, replace the liner. I remember, I don't remember what the price was, but it was much greater than this one. I think it was a monthly fee,
yeah.
so, I mean, you guys okay with that? We'll try 2 locations and see how it goes. We can always cancel one if it doesn't work out. I'll have to find out if the VFW would be acceptable with that or not.
Yeah, I mean, they would probably produce a lot of waste, it would be good in that respect. But we'll have to try it, that's the only way to do it.
So this funding costs 12 months. They're gonna do a 2-week trial to see what kind of cycle we should be in for the 12 months, right?
I would think, yes.
Yeah. Who would we contact for the VFW? I don't know who's there anymore.
Do you know who the commander is now? Julie, do you know?
I have it on their,
Okay. So that,
license in there, but
cause it
I can't
changed,
think of his
it
name.
changed, didn't it? Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Well, we'll find out who he is and we'll contact him and, but I guess that what we need to decide is we'll go with two collection points. We need 2 bins to start with. And if the VFW doesn't work, then we'll find an alternative somewhere. But that's a good spot. You need to have cameras. And for those of you that are watching that weren't aware of what this is about, this is for all food waste, from chicken carcass to a banana peel. I mean, it's anything that you would throw away.
It's your wet materials.
You know, coffee grounds. We have that posted on the Facebook page, don't we, on the website,
For the survey we did.
only for the survey? We'll have to get the
Yep.
outline on there. Okay, so that takes care of 1 and 2, right? Decide on the hauler, which I think we're all in this, we'll make it formal in a minute. And then we, and as you notice, once we decide the company, they're gonna need to set up an MOU and a vouchering process for the town to be reimbursed for the hauling cost. So the way this works is we will get billed, and we'll have to voucher the county for reimbursements.
Right. We'll have to pay it first and then
Yes.
get reimbursement.
And I think that 2 sites will satisfy that. So what he's saying here, most respondents were willing to drive 1 to 5, which is 67%, and 30% that said 5 to 10, so I think we're gonna have both ends of the town covered.
does Mr. Douglas have promotional materials that he can just give to us so that we don't have to rewrite the whole book?
I believe he does.
Yes. Yes. And I think that they plan on setting up a press release for the program and so on. And they'll also create social media posts to highlight the program.
Only if we get to wear those jumpsuits,
We have to celebrate our garbage.
because we're taking care of it in the right way.
Yes,
Okay. So, I'm gonna put this in one motion, I'll make the motion, I make a motion that I just wish I had the full name of this company. It's River Regenerative, right?
It's right there.
River Valley Regeneratives,
Yeah, River Valley, it's right in the,
right in the center of the
It's in that
first
email.
paragraph.
it's in that email,
Oh, okay, yeah,
you know,
I'll look in the wrong place,
first
okay,
paragraph.
okay, thank you. River Valley Regeneratives, okay. So I make a motion, we contract with River Valley Regeneratives with 2 receptacles, 2 totes, so and it'll be 2 separate locations, one being here, the other undetermined or unconfirmed at this time. That work? Do I have a second?
Oh, second,
Thank you. Let's see. All in favor?
Right.
Roll call, since it's a, we have
Okay.
billing. Let's do it.
Councilmember Moore,
aye.
Councilmember Bory,
Aye.
Councilmember Southwick,
I,
Supervisor Tremblay.
Aye. Any opposed? No, we just do roll call. Motion carries. Getting ahead of myself.
So the Village of Champlain is going to do this program,
Yep.
and so we're just waiting to see where they may want to put their waste container for food scraps, but they don't know yet exactly where.
No, I think they're gonna put it at the village office.
Oh, okay.
I think they're choosing one at the village office. At first, she was, for some reason, thinking we would share the costs and just have that one location, but I said, it's too spread out for that. And, you know, it'd be a lot of bookkeeping to try to do that too. Now, who's gonna pay it and who's gonna voucher for it? So I didn't think it was really necessary for, you know, it's probably $15 to $30 a month. And it's, if we did, it really wouldn't be a cost savings, it'd just be one program instead of 2. Because we're already gonna have 2, so we're at $13 now, instead of 15.
And I know,
And by the way, the mayor agreed once we talked it out, she was like,
Right.
yeah, you're right, I didn't realize, that makes sense.
and I know Doug mentioned that he was looking into different places, whether it be Price Chopper, the school, to get them on board with this also.
Yes,
So-
he just made a lot of headway with a promotion for the school, because
Yep.
he was involved in some Zoom meeting, and he wants to get a hold of Northeastern and go there next.
Yep.
Which would be separate from us, but that, I know they generate a lot of food. They're gonna need many totes. But anyways, thank you. So the next thing, I've got 3 other additionals that I added today because last night, my conversation at the fire station, Chris Trombley pointed out that he was going to try to make the meeting. I said, if you don't make the meeting, send me the information, and we have 2 letters from him. The first one I'm gonna hit is the one regarding the Knox box system for commercial buildings. I forwarded the email to Chris, I don't know if he commented or not. I wanted his opinion on it. We don't have to formalize this tonight. No, I don't think he did it. Nope, he did. Okay, so he agrees with this, that it's needed. His only question would be if we can mandate businesses that are already in operation to get them, or if it'll be only businesses open from this date on. His opinion is it should be retroactive and apply to all. I agree with that, and I would have to consult with our attorney to make sure that's how we write it, that it's retroactive to all commercial buildings. Because as you can see in the letter, we have a number of commercial buildings that just aren't willing to comply. We have a lot that do, and then we have some that just don't, and they've had to go to alarms, active alarms, not be able to get in the building, and wait for someone to come with a key. In one particular business, nobody ever shows up. Luckily, the alarm is false. Yeah, it's a waste of resources is what it is. And you're all familiar with what a knock box is, right? Knox box. It's the key to get in the building, it's inside of a,
Yeah, I've got one for my mother.
really, okay. So, that was to bring this to your attention, get your agreement if we move forward. I'm sure that, I'm pretty positive the town of Plattsburgh has a law in place for this. So I would go there next to see what that looks like. Then I would consult with Matt on whether or not we can make it retroactive. Nobody's gonna be grandfathered, you're gonna have to apply, comply now, there's a law in place. This is not just a request from the fire department.
If it wasn't retroactive, it would,
Be useless.
yeah.
Sorry. I agree. I agree. Is everybody good with that?
Tom, asking a question, not just the Knox box, but what would happen if, like, they had a code entry? How would the fire department keep those codes?
Didn't we have that with the solar fields that we put in? They have Knox boxes and they provide them how to get into them. I don't know if they're by code or not.
Yeah, the ones I'm familiar with are keyed.
Yeah.
The fire department has a master key.
As a master, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like a building that you use a code to get in, how would they keep that code?
Okay, you wanna use this one for an example?
Well, that's why I'm questioning, that was one of the things we were discussing today.
I don't know. But we're still gonna maintain a physical lock, right?
Couldn't
A key
inside the
lock.
box, you can put a code, you can
True.
put something inside the box, it's a physical box that you would put a key in, why couldn't you put the code inside
Correct.
the box?
And, or the key to the door, because we're still gonna have an active key lock as well.
Well, that's why I'm asking questions, so that's something else we need to
Yeah.
discuss how we wanna.
So,
Right?
in our earlier discussion, the buildings, are they all owned by companies, or are they leased by companies, or is it,
It could be both, I don't know the answer to that. I know the ones that he described to me are owned.
our own? Okay.
And he, by the way, he sent that same letter, I believe, I know he sent it to the village of Champlain. I shouldn't say both villages, but I know he sent it to the village of Champlain. The same request. I had told him last night I have no problem taking the lead on it and then sharing it with the villages, because they're gonna need to do the same thing. But it should. So if you're in agreement, Julie will put that on old business, so we don't drop it. And, I'll start working on it. Start gathering some information and consulting with Matt, and we'll go from there. Okay. Next thing is the hydrants. I know, I'm not sure if all of us are aware, but I know I'm very aware that we have some that need repair. His request is particularly for the one right across from his driveway. But I know there's two others that need to be done as well. And on my list, it's one of my discussion points tomorrow to find out if we can get this scheduled with the village for their assistance to get these hydrants operable. And I'm thinking if we attack it sooner than later, we're in better shape, because that water project isn't completed, and it's gonna be commencing again, I would think, within a month or so. And then all the help be tied up again, because I wanted to get it done last year, but it looked like it was impossible.
How does that break down? So is the village paying some, us, and then the fire department, or
Those are ours.
we only have a little bit in the budget, and then with all this tariffs and stuff, I'm concerned with funding.
Well, I guess I have to find out what we're looking at for costs.
Right.
I believe, and we budgeted, didn't we, for?
We budgeted for some, but I don't think all three.
All three, well, we're gonna have to hit. Number one, the one that's across from, that he's pertaining to here, would be removal. So it's a matter of the fitting or the cap that goes on the main line. Kept requesting, what do we need for that? I haven't got an answer yet. But we need to make sure we have that on hand. So that one's gonna be very low cost. It'd be labor and equipment from the village. I don't know what's wrong with the one by New York State DOT, but I would think that's number two that should be done. And I don't even know where the third one is, I can't remember. And Chris was busy today, so I couldn't find out. But if we need to, we just hit those two. But I know the one by DOT has been bagged for as long as I've been supervisor. That's not good. There is another one close by, it's not like there's one within 300-400 feet, but maybe 500 feet. Right at the Miramar entrance. So that was mutual agreement that we need to move forward and try to get these hydrants taken care of. And yes, it's dependent upon budgetary funds, I agree. I gotta find out what kind of an estimate we're looking at. Okay, number 9, I don't have copies for you. Right here. Okay, 9th on new business, and the last one for new business is highway superintendent is requesting either a new truck or a new box, along with repairs. So what happened was, when they started, they took the sander out of the, I'll call it the 1 ton, I believe that truck's a 1.5 ton, but they'll call it the 1 ton. And started pressure washing, they found that the dump body itself, the floor of the dump body is all rotted out. And so that started a discussion of, do we buy another dump body for the truck? The truck is a 2022, I believe, or 21. I think it's 21. It's 2020. It's 2020, so it's 5 years old. Relatively low mileage, but they took it in for to get it appraised at Riley Ford and inspected. And got that here somewhere. They found problems with the front end. Oh, he gave me that. Nope, he didn't provide it for me.
Yes, you did. It was on your desk.
Well, I've got the 4 papers. I've got Goss, I've got Riley for the trade-in, I've got the cost on the box only, and I got E.J. Barrett and Sons
It was another invoice from Riley's, but I put it on your desk.
And was it with this, or was it over, would you mind looking for me, please?
I just did, you took it. He came in after the fact.
Or pick it up with something else? It was about, what, 3,000, I think?
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, it was about $3,000. We needed front end parts, the four-wheel drive and the front end, the suspension and the, I don't have it, so I'm not sure if it got picked up with something, because I don't have it. Okay, so option one would be just the box, replace the box, $24,000.
Sorry.
You might wanna write these things down. Thank you. So what they found wrong with the truck was. Alright, so tires, needs two front tires, both front hub locks are seized. Front end steering components, tie rods, upper and lower ball joints, drag link, sleeves, traction bar, damper loose, are all recommended to be replaced. Your brake pads are low, which I can see that being true, the truck's got just under 40,000, I think it's like 39. Rotors are corroded, and they recommend alignment after all front end work.
And none of this has been replaced or repaired in the past 5 years?
No. No, so the front end steering components is $1,800, the brakes are $1,457. Should have told them here somewhere. I'm gonna have to do this real quick. Now granted, if we decide to repair it, I would recommend getting another quote, right? So with the tires, $4,500 would be quoted, with the two front tires. There, now I got a total written on it. So you're looking at 24,000 for body, and then you can just call it 4,000 in repairs, and 28,000. And I think that 24,000, that's, I thought it was 27 for a stainless, and he doesn't have that, he's just got this. Did you get a lower cost on the stainless box? Cause all he gave me was this for 24,000, I thought it was 27,000 for a stainless. This all came in late today, just so you know, that's why it seems unorganized.
So 24 to 27 with a new box. So
Mhm.
you're looking at, for repairs plus a new box, between 24 and 27, you're looking at $31,000
Correct.
on top of how many miles?
I think it's 39,000. It's gotta be, it was like a week ago when I looked at it, it was 38.6. So, just call it 39. So with that said, to compare to, for trade, this is with the $24,000 box, that might be why he did that, at Riley's, not the upgrade to the 27, which is what,
So we're trading the truck and getting a new, I don't understand.
yeah, getting another whole new truck with a new box.
Okay.
That would cost $51,509. So you're at, say, 32 to fix the 5-year-old truck, 51,509 there to get a new one. And then you got a price from Goss Chevrolet down here on a Dodge Ram from their other dealership across the lake. But it would be serviced here, okay? And that one, the total amount due was $58,377. But that was with a stainless steel box, if I remember correctly.
And that's what the New York State uses, is all stainless steel.
Well, when I went out there, the guys in the shop were like, you know, you really should put a stainless on there, and then maybe you could even swap it from one chassis to another someday, instead of,
Yeah.
you might get 2 trucks out of it. Just like I get 2 or 3 out of my snowplow.
What was the first price of where was the first option coming from?
Riley Ford,
Riley,
yeah, 51,509.
and Goss was 58.
And that one, the pricing is subject to change because they can't get a truck for
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks. And they said this was based on the current mileage. And would be adjusted afterwards. This one, at the 58,377 was firm. No matter what it was when they turned it in.
What was the number, 51?
377.
377.
And what would they give us for our truck on a trade?
Okay,
Trucks.
Riley was allowing 40,000 at that time, but it's in here that they don't. It's dependent on that mileage on that day. This one, the trade amount is less, it's 34,000, but the truck is less. Dodge a little bit cheaper than
And you
Ford.
think that's coming with a stainless steel box?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
The other one's not.
Right, so you could add the 3,000 or 4,000 to it. 'Cause he didn't give me that quote, and I wanna say it was 27 something.
Is this
It
something
doesn't
that's
say
in
on
our
this
budget?
quote.
What to say?
Did we budget for this?
Where's the?
He has money in his budget. He has $70,000 for equipment for him to buy
For this year.
for this year.
For this year, yeah.
So that pretty much wipes it down to 10 grand left in the budget for the rest of the year for equipment for him.
Yes,
Yep.
if that's what he chooses, yes.
Bar no catastrophes, right?
It's always done.
I know, it's early in the year to make a decision like this, I get it. So you.
And there's a big hole in the box. He said,
There's a hole in the
a
bucket.
hole in the bucket.
I'm
Dear Eliza, dear Eliza.
It's all flaked in little holes.
Yes. And what do we use that for? And we use it for in
Like in the
hauling?
Like in the summer, yeah, he
Okay.
hauls the topsoil,
Okay.
look at stone, and they utilize that a lot for small roads, right? Rather than take a big truck.
So if we didn't trade it
I
in
have
and
no
get a
idea.
new one, then it's gonna cost between 28 and 32 to repair the one we have and put a new box on it.
And put a new box, yes.
Yeah,
Now,
I know what Dr. Soffer would say.
if you wanna, yeah, I know what Jules would say. I didn't ask him to get a quote on relining the box with new steel, because I'm sure that would be somewhat high as well. And the question is, you know, what's our limit on how much we wanna put into that truck, I guess. I'm sure you can probably get it relined for, I don't know, $5,000 maybe, I'm guessing. If it's possible, it would have to be leftover, like at Iroquois, and where they make the bodies for God knows how long. At least now they're still able to use it some while they're waiting for another truck. So this is what he's requesting, us to look at which way we wanna go. And I know he would prefer to get a new truck and put a lot of money in it. It's not real old. So it's a budgetary question. And if you feel you need more information, I mean, that's not unheard of either.
Still more information? I think I do.
I think I'd like to see numbers in front of me. I'm just a little concerned with, what, 70,000 for a year?
But that's normally, we didn't have any trucks, any big trucks planned for this year. We've already bought the elevator. A lot of his equipment is in pretty great shape, so that's not any part of it. That figure was supposed to be part of a truck anyway. Again, not swaying you either way, I'm just,
But it's good to know that most of the other equipment is all in good order,
yeah.
and he's not expecting anything to.
No. Alan's normally pretty good to keep his equipment pretty
Mhm.
up to standards.
How long do you usually keep a truck for? Being that I'm just new into this.
Is there anybody else that would? we could
Normally,
get a
well,
quote from?
it depends on the truck,
Like
like,
go through Peterbilt for
the
something
old,
like that, or?
No, they don't make even
code
that
truck
small.
we kept for quite a
Chevy
while,
doesn't
like
make
actually
anything
maybe
heavy duty.
too long,
Okay.
kind of
That's how I
thing.
ended up with
So,
going to Dodge.
for what they're using it for,
It's pretty much just Ford or Dodge for that. Cause it's not a standard 1 ton, it's like a 1.5 tons, it's a heavy duty 1 ton.
Okay.
And the box that he puts on is a little bit bigger than most, like, landscape people would use and stuff like that, because he hauls stone and gravel and. So yes, that line item was intended for a truck, such as a pickup or whatever.
yeah.
So he'd have to keep his pickup if he did this.
Say that again?
I said he'd have to keep driving his pickup if he did this. And we'd have to confirm on the body on this, because it doesn't say, this is commercial body outfit. It's just under 21,000, so I don't know if that's for the stainless or not.
Is that Goss or Barrett?
Goss. Barrett had, that was another Ford. They were at 66,875 after trade. They were high,
After trade?
yeah. I believe so. They were giving us 36,000 for trade allowance. That one did have the stainless steel body.
But we're not sure on the other.
I'm not sure on that Dodge, no, it doesn't specify. And here, the stainless steel dump body is 26,000.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but I guess if we could get 2 trucks out of one body, it would be worth it.
Do you need to firm up some things on those? Do you have questions on some of it?
I guess we should question the Goss, you know, the Dodge
Yeah.
truck, on what body that is. And 'cause if you put the extra, it's actually $6,000 off, 'cause that's low for the other. This here was 24,000, and they got 20,673 over here. It's hard to do apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
So we want us to do, to get more precise numbers and, find out how much time he has to hold. We'd have to make some sort of decision for him, so we can order it, because both of them have to be ordered. I believe that the E.J. Barrett was in stock, but it's a lot more money.
And it's also a king cap.
Oh,
I think
that's right.
that's why the difference in
Yeah.
pricing
I
too.
think he said that, I don't know if it says it here, but I remember him saying something about that.
What do you mean by king cab?
Four-door.
Yeah, so people can sit in the back seat,
Are we
where
on
the other ones are just,
2 doors?
yeah,
Do we need 4 doors?
no.
Yeah. So that's an extra expense.
Yep. That's because it hasn't been a lot. So with that said, I would eliminate that one and look at these 3 options. Or 2 if you're deciding.
Right, there's fix, and then there's,
Yeah, so it's, basically, what it comes down to, right, is 30, would you say 32,000?
Yeah, 28 to 32,000, depending on whether the box is one or the other, 24 or 27.
Or we'll just say 60,000
Mm-hmm.
for all new equipment. So, all new for 60, repair the old for 30, so.
yeah, let's get, can you get more specific and then?
So,
that's-
so get some more clarity to the Dodge.
Yeah, just so we know exactly what we're, 'cause that does make a difference in my mind, you know, if one quote has the steel box versus the doesn't, you know, I mean, there's some fair variables here to consider. So, I think we need to clarify that before we jump into a decision.
Okay.
I mean, if you
Well,
need it-
then the other concern too is if we're looking at this one company who can't get the product for 8 weeks, how is that gonna slow him down? And what's the up of the cost in 8 weeks? You know, is that gonna bring us right up to equal the other one? And then we're waiting for 8 weeks, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what the lead time is in the Dodge, so you're telling me 8 weeks on the Ford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember what he said and just for informational purposes, the Ford was a gas engine, which, I mean, it's not that we need diesel, this is a Cummins diesel, which will probably be purring like a kitten when it falls out of the frame from the truck rusting out. It'll last forever.
Which would
Yeah.
last forever, the
The-
diesel?
This diesel will last
Yeah,
forever,
I
no
don't
doubt
know
in
the
my mind.
difference between the two, other than the price of the gas.
Yeah.
Well, those little companies, it's the same motor that's in the school buses. Okay, so,
But you're implying you can't wait till the next meeting.
Well, I'm
Well, we
saying
can-
that you probably shouldn't wait till the next meeting.
right, so we can gather more detailed information and we'd have to get together in a quick special meeting just for this one item.
It's up to you guys.
It's the only thing we could do. If we can't do
If that would be fast, we could do a noontime thing if we had to.
Next week before the 17th.
Correct. Someone's gonna bite by the second.
Oh.
Nice trip. Okay. Is that our plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to table anything, or?
Yeah, why don't we do a motion to table this decision on this truck for highway until we get more information?
All right, I'll make a motion to table the proposed highway department request to either fix the current truck or purchase a new one until we can gather more information.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Julie will put all those items into old business, please, for the next one. Sign for Bob Vin Park.
I don't have any more information on that. I
Okay.
don't know when you wanna plunk those in, or if the property is even ready to do that.
No, probably, I'm thinking May,
Okay,
okay? But,
all right, so then, but before then, before the next meeting, I'll get together with Jess and get those signs made. We'll have to put them somewhere.
yes, why don't we do that? Get it ready.
Mhm.
And could you, we're
Can we
gonna.
get a list
we're-
together?
We're gonna add to that, so sign for Bob Vin Park, and you can make it a 1A and put signs for town of Champlain.
Was that our sign that was knocked over on the
Yeah.
Miners Woods Road, or whatever that's
Yeah,
called?
it's on Route 9.
Between Shazy and,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked so terrible, it looked like a car had hit it.
So that way we'll have that on our list, right? So
Yes.
what we've got, so I met with Alan today, he went and picked it up. And they're all mounted differently, which I kinda knew from talking to Jessica, cause she said you're gonna have to measure everyone separately if you're gonna use the same mounting, because they're all different. Alan confirmed that. The steel is all rotted out, where the post was rotted, but so's the steel, he says, it's, you know, what it was, they handmade some brackets that were put into cement, and then they bolted the post to the brackets. And he's like, what are you gonna do? I go, well, if they're all gonna be rotted like that, I suggest that we just go totally new, right? So that would consider, when you talk to Jess, she would make us, you know, tell us what we need. So we're gonna buy, let's say, I'm assuming it's gonna be an 8 or a 10-foot 6x6. The big signs we wanna do 6x6. And you completely sleeve them in vinyl. He'll just pull the old cement out, if we make them roughly the same width, which I don't think we wanna go too wide, cause if you go too wide, the wind's gonna really catch them, right? Do I all agree that our signs are sufficient in width, or do we wanna go wider?
They look big enough.
They're big enough, you can see them.
You can see them,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can
Cause if you go
They're
too
not this
big,
way. They're bigger this way.
like
than
up from
this way.
usually
They are.
at,
Yeah,
what's it called, Destination Financial? That wind raises heck with that sign, that thing must be 6 feet wide, and when I went by with the bus the other day when that gusting was going on, it was literally bowling like this, back and forth. And I know she lost it once, and they had to do a repair on it, so I don't wanna make it too wide, that's my point, cause I've seen what the wind can do to them. But the plan would be, is to either pull those concrete sonotube out of the hole, or re-drill new holes, and put the posts completely clad in vinyl into concrete.
does she have the sign for the town already designed?
No, she's still working on it, cause she sent me a proof. I can email her back to work on that, and I asked her, I talked to her, I called her, and I said, it's not quite what we wanted, but she said, do you want us to incorporate San Luis Champlain in there somewhere? And I said, let's see what it looks like, and I shouldn't have done that yet.
Okay. Do you want, when I call her, do you want me to just inquire about the sign for the towns?
Yeah, and fill her in on where we're at, since that way she's only getting from one contact, there's no sense both of us working on it.
Sure.
You know, tell her, we can give her a measurement of
The
width
base.
the width that we want,
Yeah.
and they're all gonna be the same. Cause we're doing
How many are we
we're
doing?
doing 4 big ones, right?
I believe we're doing 4, I have to go back to the budget to
Okay,
confirm which ones we've chose.
Yeah, so tell her we're gonna make them the same,
so those are narrower, they're longer and narrow, aren't they?
yeah, not like the Bob
Not
Venn
the
sign
Bob-
you're making is a little bit wider,
Wider.
right?
Is she using the same exact layout, design, in terms of?
No.
So it's gonna have a different shape to it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, so she's got to give us some proofs to look at.
Okay,
Maybe if she wanted to give us 1 or 2 shapes. She knows that we like the one at the Maple Hill Cemetery,
mhm,
so it could be to work with something similar to that. That one's not that wide either, it's about the same width as these. And she's never had trouble with that one. And that one's mounted with aluminum angle irons, mounting the signboard to the post. The one at Kavanaugh's, she did little cutouts and slid it into the post, and it got blown out a couple times, she had to
Yeah.
add brackets.
so we're better with the brackets.
Then the question is, do we need to get those angle irons ourselves? Like, do I go to more mechanicals, tell them what we need, have them make them all up? You know, find all those details
Okay.
out. But tell her we're gonna redo holes, and we're gonna drop those posts clad in vinyl right into the ground and cement them in. And I think that's how she wants to do Bob Venn as well.
Right,
And with that vinyl being completely clad, I don't see that rotting for many, many, many years.
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't. You might, a little bit at the bottom, and they start wicking up, but
Yeah.
you're gonna be 2 feet in the ground.
she sent me a list of all the materials that we would need to put that in. The vinyl, the sacrete, all the stuff. And I wonder if the brackets, I don't know if we can just get that where we get the other stuff.
I don't know, ask her.
I'll ask her.
Yeah. I know it should be aluminum, and then we should paint them, I believe, confirm that. I believe
Paint them?
I believe she uses aluminum and paints them to match posts.
If you don't want them white.
What's that?
If you don't want them white, you'd have to paint them, I suppose.
No, I don't think they come white, they just come aluminum color. Just clarify with her. I think she painted hers. If she can get them white aluminum, then we're all set. I don't think they come painted though. So anyways, I told Alan to leave the sign down, because he was asking if he needed to try to repair it, because the things, I don't know. We're gonna replace it, and I don't think it's gonna kill the town to go a couple of months without a sign.
No. He was fooling with it today, so.
Yeah. So we'll go back to your list. I'm pretty sure that we picked Lake Shore Road, Route 9, Overton Corners, and Route 11, I think were the ones we picked.
But we should go around and check them, cause some might be worse than others.
That's a good idea.
So, I'm not saying not, but instead of
Well,
picking,
the one on Route 11 was just repaired a year ago. So if you wanna, there might be another one out there.
well, that's what I'm saying, so we might wanna check them first and then,
I just like that one because it was a major thoroughfare.
right,
So if you're gonna start, that's where I would wanna start. Maybe we pull down the 111, replace it, and then we have that one as a spare if the other one, if one breaks between now and next year.
but yeah, have them go around and check them first and then
Okay.
I'll pull my list.
Okay. No good, Dorothea?
Yeah, I'm good.
Revisions to the investment policy, I know you and I have been working on it, but.
We're still where we were after we met last. I
Yeah.
haven't done anything more on it.
Okay. Neither have I.
Sorry.
That's okay, I haven't either, I haven't had time. We'll get it.
Yep.
Okay, next special meeting for public hearing is on sewer district number 7, scheduled for May 6, 2025 at 6:30 PM. And our next business meeting is scheduled for May 12th, 2025 at 7 PM. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion.
No, sorry,
Oh.
I rescinded my motion.
No, I got one more item. Glad we didn't adjourn yet. One more item of business just to discuss. So Jody, our dog control officer, is proposing, he's been talking about this for a while, to, at his kennel, because he's also doing boarding there, to, if dogs come in, they have to be vaccinated in order to be kenneled. They don't have to be licensed, but if they're not, what he is proposing is to license, if we give him forms and tags, he will license them and pay the town, bring the paperwork and the money here, and that fee will be deducted from their first night's stay. So basically, he's licensing them for free to the owner. In other words, if it's $9 to license the dog, then it's only $21 for kennel fee. If it's $18 to license the dog, because it's not spayed or neutered, I'm not sure if that's the correct amount or not, roughly though.
It's right.
Then he pays that and deducts it off of that. He is requesting, he created this, and it's a QR code. But in discussions today, it would be best if he put the QR code in the back of our tags for consistency, then Julie has the same consecutive numbers and all that good stuff, instead of creating a whole new tag like this. And what that does is if if the dog gets lost and somebody finds a dog and they take a picture of that QR tag, it links them right directly to Jody, and then Jody has all the information logged in because he licensed the dog. He knows who it belongs to and so on and so forth.
Clever.
Yeah, I think it's a clever idea. I know Julie isn't completely on board with it, but I think we should do a trial.
What are your reservations, Jordan?
Well, like I told him, I have to do a monthly report. So if he licenses dogs and he doesn't get what he's licensed to me, and I don't have it for my report, then it's gonna mess things up.
If
I
he,
mean-
would he get it to you for the next month?
Well, the thing is, if he's licensed the dog, say he did it in the 1st of January, or 1st of March, he doesn't get it to me till May, I can't go back to that 1st March, because I've already done my report.
Right.
So then I would have to put it in the system, I could put it in the system in May, but that gives 2 months that they've paid for.
Oh, I see.
So I understand her reservation because I guess this was tried before with a previous DCO,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Way back,
Not,
this is way back when Ralph was here.
not in that same fashion. He had license tags and forms available, and sometimes if he found a dog unlicensed, he would get the owner to license it, and he'd collect the money. Problem is, he didn't turn it in periodically.
Mhm.
Jody, we made it very clear to Jody that it has to be in, he agreed to do it weekly, and I brought up the point, well, if you license one on the 29th of April, it's gotta be in immediately, because she's gotta close her books before the end of the month. And of course, that depends on what weekday it is as well, by the way. It's gonna be, so he understands, that's why I'm thinking we should do like a 3-month trial. If it's driving our clerk crazy because it's not coming in on time, and by then we'll have an idea how many he actually got licensed, to see if we continue or not.
I mean, he's saying it's gonna help by getting the people to license their dog. But if he feels that way, he could just say, if you're gonna bring your dog into my kennel, you have to show proof that it's licensed.
Yeah, I know, but that would hurt his business, and I don't think he can make that a requirement to board, but what he's trying to do is he's trying to get more dogs licensed. He's doing the same thing with all the townships that he works with. So if he works for Beamantown, so a resident of Beamantown comes in and boards a dog, he's doing the same thing there with that clerk.
Can we require that he do the specifications of making sure the reports are given to Julie, so
Yeah.
that, so there's never ever,
Yeah, that's what I say. And
Yeah, the
it-
communication has to
I
be
think
there.
if we require him
with
to give
a
them to
trial.
you by a certain point, and again, you said based on the calendar, right? So like if your books have to shut by this date, like, you know, I think if we require that, and he complies with it, but if he doesn't comply with it.
So we could do for 3 months, you could do, tell me what drop dead date you need based on that calendar, because of course, you know, based on a weekday. For the next 3 months, I'll put it in the form of a letter and say it's a trial period.
Yeah, I mean, he just,
That's
I
not
mean, each
reasonable?
month it could be a
And if
different
it- and if
day,
it go
like,
goes
Right.
well,
But as
then-
long
during the
as-
week,
When
but it's
as long
gonna
as you're-
be, but
but
it's
as
gotta
long-
be,
But you need to specify whenever you're gonna need it by, and that's gonna be his drop dead date, like he's gotta have everything to you by that date, so you have your report, so there's no questions.
My guess is, if he's doing this from the kennel's not far from here. You'll probably get him weekly, more than likely.
yeah, I would think.
I would think.
I don't, honestly, myself, I don't think he's gonna be a lot, but that's just my feeling.
No,
Well, then
it's-
that'll make it even easier, cause he won't have much to report
But
to you.
we'll see.
Yeah, but we'll see if it's working and he's, you know, if he, 3 month period, he gets 3 or 4 dogs, it's better than nothing, because otherwise you'd have to door to door knocking and trying to find them, and that's just unreasonable.
Works for me.
Okay.
Do you need any formal action on that, just?
I guess formal action, just a motion saying that we're gonna, try a 3-month trial period with our DCO, allowing him to license dogs. So, and then we'll revisit on the 3rd month, so that'd be in June, July, so say August meeting we'll revisit.
I don't remember everything you just said, but,
Just
Well,
say
he
trial
just made a
period.
motion, so you can second that.
okay.
Yeah,
And I would just add that it, under the specifications of the timeline that Julie needs for her reports.
yes, that's what it's really based on, is whether or not it is manageable for the town clerk.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Okay, that's another to do. Now I'll take that adjournment, please, and thank you.
I'll, now, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.